Hey, welcome back, bottom feeders. There's a lot happening in the market, so let me give you just a quick 1-2 punch about some of the things that you should be aware of if you weren't already. First of all, that the market is still ripping, guys. There's so many opportunities to make money right now. Overall, when you look at the S&P 500, about 75% of the stocks are down for the day, but the market is still up. As a matter of fact, the S&P 500 is about to break all-time highs, guys. That is an incredibly bullish sentiment, and everything's still up. Now, let's talk real quick about the sections that are doing well. Microsoft is up. Apple came in flat. And honestly, guys, I really don't see Apple doing well going forward in the future. Not to say that they can't course correct, but my last video already mentioned, I expect Apple to struggle. Nvidia's up 4%. A few companies worth talking about: OpenAI, Oracle. This goes into what President Trump recently talked about, stating that he wants America to be leading in this AI revolution that's happening. He wants to put $500 billion towards this and trying to make America first. But the thing is has that money been guaranteed? No, not yet. And then the other thing is what are they going to do with that money? What are they going to do with either 100 billion or 500 billion dollars? It's not really clear. So there was a little bit of a pump with Oracle, but really, the price didn't move all that much. But I think once it's a little bit more clear what can be done with that money, maybe we'll see some movement. With that said, before we jump into some specific stocks, I just got to share with you guys something. Look, it's been a really long time since I've been up on Wall Street Bets. This is not a place I go to very often, but for some entertainment purposes, look, this got brought to my attention. I just had to share it. So Donald Trump, just before he got elected president, before the inauguration, right, he came out with a coin. Unfortunately, guys, for those who follow cryptocurrencies, they really dislike this play because it really delegitimizes what cryptocurrencies could be. And I feel for that too. It goes back to what the Haktua girl, if you heard about that, where she created her own meme coin. She, used her platform and a lot of people bought into it. And once it got up to a certain price, with her owning like whatever it was, 80% or potentially more of the coins she owned from just creating the coin, she immediately just sold it all. Sold it all to the market, made $20+ million from it, whatever the number comes out to be. It doesn't matter. The point is that she just totally robbed people blind. And like President Trump or don't like him, whatever it's worth, he created his own meme coin. There was no fundamental reason or helping out the space at all. And unfortunately, it's going to help, or I should say, deter people from wanting to do anything with cryptocurrencies because they're going to feel like it's very scammy. Well, so here's a guy. Oh man, when I see these stories, I'm like, why would you do that? There's, guys, base hits. You can easily get base hits, especially in a super bullish market like this. You do not need a moonshot to become wealthy. You do not need a moonshot to become financially free. You don't. You just need to learn how to make consistent base hits, and you can be profitable and you can get to that financial freedom. But anyways, to this story, this guy took almost $1.2 million of his grandfather's. I think it left him the money. Maybe his grandfather passed away, whatever it was, an inheritance that he had achieved. And he decided to do something. You can see the post that he wrote here. He was going to do a YOLO play. He's going to do something called buying a call. So this is what it means, guys. So he bought a call, okay, let's see here. So he paid $7.63. So he bought a call at about $40. Okay, so he bought a call at $40 expiring on March 21st. So those not very familiar with options play, what that means is that in order for him to just break even, he's got to make back what he paid for it, plus what the strike price was. So his break-even price was $47.65. The problem is the coin has been tanking. So here's a video of him a few days later watching the market about to open. If you notice, it just turned over to 930. That's when options get updated, and boom. With the price dropping, he's losing all his money so quickly. So when you buy calls, guys, it is a leveraged play, especially with a short expiration like this. It's super high risk. He just said, "What am I doing?" Oh man. And he's underwater and he doesn't know how to get out of it right now. You saw what the break-even price was. All right, that's enough of that, man. Wild. So if you don't know what you're doing and you're dealing with options or buying calls, it's guys, it's high risk because it's got to reach that price. Of course, you can close out your options a little bit earlier and you can recoup some money in case it was under. And he could do the same thing, but with him being down like $500,000, does he have the emotional strength or fortitude to sell out at this point? No, he's probably emotionally invested. He's gonna hope that it comes back up, but it's just quite a when you deal with Wall Street bets, right? You get these people who like to do these YOLO bets, and then as soon as the price moves against them and they don't have the experience or the emotional strength to handle it, they just lose everything, guys. And so this is a terrible way to invest. So when you look at Wall Street bets, guys, it can be for entertainment purposes, but do not go there for any type of advice. Okay, well, there's enough of that. Absolutely incredible. Hey, let's get back to like actually making some money. Palantir, wow, up another 5%. What did I tell you guys? If it dropped down into the $60 range, this was a gold mine to buy in. I'm incredibly bullish with Palantir, and man, just look back on the past few days here. Let's just go ahead and just go to regular trading hours. Holy cow, has this thing been ripping to the upside? Guys, Palantir is showing some good opportunities. Now, with that said, let's go back to extended trading hours. So this is what's happening in the after hours. Here's the high from the day. Okay, we're talking about $77.20. Looks like in the aftermarket it broke it. It dropped down. Honestly, guys, I'm really going to be looking for the pre-market, what Palantir is doing. Now, depending on what it does in the pre-market as far as what highs are in the pre-market and what lows are, I'm going to mark those off. And what I'm going to be looking for is two things. First one is whatever the pre-market high is, okay? I want to see the price tomorrow break it. Additionally, I want to see this price at $77.20 also to be broken. Excuse me, also to be broken. And if it breaks it, there's some serious potential it can continue to go to the upside. Okay, so I'll probably be looking for a scalp play at that point. So that's what I'm looking for tomorrow. That's one of my scalp trades. But additionally, if you want to go longer term, Palantir buying in, I think now is still even a decent time. It was better to buy it when it was in the $60, high 60s. But guys, Palantir, this is nowhere to be. You, if you follow me in Discord, you know my thesis about Palantir, and so I've got my positions, and I got how I feel about Palantir and where it's going to go, and I'm sticking with that. It's either going to hit my price target where I sell out, or it's going to hit my stop losses, right? But I favor it to the upside, and the trend is my friend. And look at that. Hey, let me go back to AMD real quick. So I talked a little bit about AMD yesterday. You know how I was talking about this downward trend here? You know what? I guess I'll go ahead and remove this trend real quick. Let me go ahead and hide this for you guys real quick. So let's hide my drawings. But let me put on one of my indicators here. Okay, so here's a little indicator that I had created. Red means the trend's not your friend. Green is the trend is your friend. So what have we seen? So these different lines are the different period moving averages. So I got the 10, the 20, and the 50. When the green line's above the blue line and the blue line's above the red line, what that's showing is a strong upward movement, which shows a buy signal. And then when those lines cross, it's going to give you a red signal. So this is just one of the many scripts that I started, writing things that I do consistently with trading, but that's just one of many. So why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because until there is this change right here, okay, remember this is on the daily chart. So each one of these bars represents a day, okay? We do see the 10 approaching the 20. It's getting kind of close, but it still has quite a ways to go, okay? It looks like the 20 is going to be about $122. Let me see. Excuse me. So, yeah, $122.97. Yeah, we'll definitely cross that. And 10 is 121 and 10. Okay, so anyways, we're getting really close for these two lines crossing, and that is a really good sign. We need to see that happen, but that's going to really require another day or two finishing out in the green. But right now, overall, right, what does this red mean? When these averages are all pointing to the downside, it means that we're still in a downtrend. This goes back to what I was saying before, that we need to break this downward trend. And the first time you're going to see that signal is when these moving averages start to cross each other, when the 10 crosses the 20, and then when the 10 and 20 both cross the 50. That's when you're going to start seeing a lot of buyers coming in. So there's going to be two times where there's going to be a lot of sellers, or a lot of buyers will come in. It's going to be when these averages cross, which is going to be about that $130, which, by the way, if we go to look at the options chain real quick about where a lot of people are stacking up, it's going to be, looks like TradingView doesn't show that, but there's a lot of people stacking up at that $130 region. Well, there's a lot of confluence right there, right? That's where one of our big moving averages is at. So that makes a lot of sense. And also, if you're to look at the, not to get too technical, but there's also an ATR, how much AMD moves. A lot of people at $130 are just collecting free premium, and they just, every time the price goes up, they're just going to keep moving. They're selling their calls beyond what the average move of a week for AMD is. So anyways, long story short, sorry to get a little bit too technical, but what you're going to see is once we actually cross this $130 range, you're going to have a lot of buyers come in. Once you have a lot of people, once we cross $160, now I know that's a really far away, you're going to have a lot more buyers come in. And anytime you just see a lot of more volume come in, then you'll potentially have some momentum traders. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about that because I did mention, the $160 yesterday, but I didn't talk about these moving averages, and that could be another potential time when buyers come in. But right now, although I fundamentally believe in AMD, although I think that it's a good company, again, as I mentioned yesterday, it is still technically a falling knife. One of the things that we talk about is, as traders is the trend is your friend. And guys, look, look at the color here, right? The trend is it's going down. AMD is going down, but you're not going to have buyers come in until the trend changes. And so for people who are buying in right now, who knows how long that you're going to be waiting for it to course correct. It could be a while, but right now the trend is not your friend. So anyways, okay, so we talked about Palantir. That is a momentum trade I'm looking for tomorrow, a scalp play, AMD. I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. Oh, last thing about Nancy Pelosi, because I neglected to mention this yesterday. When I was looking at the news for this, I mean, Nancy's just right, the best trader of all time. Yesterday, when we looked at this, wow, the first day the market opens after she bought all these shares, what happened? The app gets released of TEM. Are you kidding me? Tell me there's not inside knowledge. Come on, Nancy. Be a little bit less obvious, okay? Be a little bit less obvious that you didn't know that that was going to drop. Anyways, for what it's worth. So, still a lot of volume for TEM. Still made a green move. What did I say yesterday? TEM could be a continuation play. Soundhound, let's see what happened with Soundhound today. I wasn't actually watching it too terribly much. Looked like it ended up being just kind of a flat day. Let's open up the 15 minutes. Yeah, just looks like a lot of chop, a little bit of consolidation band going into the post market. Post market's closing about 16.16. All right, so I mean a little bit down. I wonder what the volume looked like today. Sorry guys, real-time analysis real quick. A lot of sellers came in and then it just kind of flattened out. What about TEM? A lot of sellers came in, but long wicks to the downside. And then you still had pretty good volume throughout the day, to be honest, guys. But the concerning thing is really didn't break oh, yeah, I mean, the high of the intraday just really wasn't high enough. And then you just have a really kind of a bearish engulfing candle here almost, right? I mean, that is a huge body bearish candle that kind of set a little bit of a downside signal a little bit, but okay, well, nevertheless, a lot of volume that happened. Overall, it was up 5% given the whole day. A lot of volume, but not really a whole lot of price movement, and especially towards the later end of the day, right? Typically, the last hour, you'll see a lot of price movement. Wasn't a lot of price movement at all, and actually, the volume kind of just wasn't there either. So, if you believe in this company, if you've done some research, I would consider waiting for a few weeks. The news catalyst has already happened. Momentum traders have already scalped their trades. They're already long gone, guys. So you're now going to have a few other people trying to figure out what they want to do at this price. Do they want to take a small win, a small loss? Do they want to get out? But if you're looking to potentially follow Nancy Pelosi, you want to buy some shares of this and maybe ride it for a year, I bet if you wait a few days, maybe even, I'll dare say, maybe even a few weeks, it's probably going to retrace quite a bit. I would say even down to before Nancy Pelosi and her news, we were trading at about $35. You might be able to get into this around, $40 or so. So there's still a significant retrace that could still happen from the significant gap up. Okay. So, this is just second day after this strong news catalyst, but we didn't see the price move too much. So that kind of sets up for a retracement tomorrow. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. Okay. But to follow the volume, follow the price action. So anyways, hopefully that was enjoyable. This is a little bit of a long video. Go ahead and end it there. Until next time. Peace. Please remember, everything I share in this video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. And remember, nobody can make you buy or sell anything except for you. Take full responsibility of your choices.